Tunay na yaman gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways matibay ang samahan. Budhi ang sandigan laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan. Servisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino. DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan. Tunay na yaman gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways matibay ang samahan. Budhi ang sandigan laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan. Servisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino. DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan. Tunay na yaman gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways matibay ang samahan. Budhi ang sandigan laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan. Servisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino.
Good morning. Today is November 26, 2024. Time check, it's exactly 10:04. Let's start our activity with a prayer and followed by the singing of national anthem. Please all stand.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. All-powerful God, we praise and thank you as we gather once again for the Pre-Procurement Conference, Pre-Bid Conference, and opening of bids for civil works. May we ask you for your blessing and guidance. The activities set for this undertaking may be successful. Open our mind for us to think wisely. Put us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities for the success of the Pre-Procurement Conference, Pre-Bid Conference, and opening of bids for civil works. We ask this in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, temas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y bumay. Lupang hinirang, tuyat ka ng magigiw, sa manlulupi, di ka masisingil. Sa lagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bahaw, ay ilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang nilalaan. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nagigigil. Ang bituin at harap niya kailan magpapay magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng maraming pagsita, ay langit sa lingkod. Aming ligaya dapat may mamagin, at namatay ng tayo sa'yo.
You may now take your seats. Good morning once again. For today, we will have 3 activities: Pre-Procurement Conference, Pre-Bid Conference, and opening of bids. Mr. Back Secretary, please ascertain if we have the quorum.
Yes, Mr. Vice Chairman, we have a quorum.
Do we have electronic submission of bids?
No electronic bid submitted, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Okay, with that, I now call this meeting to order. Thank you, Mr. Back Secretary. DPWH, you may now open the bid box and retrieve all those bid tenders. And while we are waiting for the result of the electronic eligibility coming from CWA, you may now open all the technical envelopes and start sorting out those documents. Now, let me acknowledge the presence of everyone, starting from our contractor's representative, 969 Construction and Supplies, Alma Gutierrez, Saint Benecet Construction, Maria Vida Quirino, Big Berta, RD Sambile, M3 Construct, Frederick Mendoza, PC Ponopio Construction, Eunice Inalves, Amville Construction, Maylin Bautista, Jaken Construction, Crescencio Aquino, GVDPM Construction, Mean Abensa, T2B3 Builders, Maricris Sanggalang, Northern Builders, Maria Cristina Bernadette Abraham, FRNCS Builders, Francis Ian Galieto, 1116 Construction, Michael Mangil. Good morning. On my left, the original idol, Engineer Ronald Payabyab. Good morning. And our Mr. Back Secretary, Engineer Mike Malvar. Beside him is Ma'am Jacqueline Di Marucot, Ma'am Luz Zamora. Good morning. And our TWG members, Engineer Marvinson Ginghab, our TWG head, Attorney Engineer Cristina Magcalas. Good morning. And at my left back is Ma'am Jocelyn Dizon and Engineer Abraham Elmo Bernardo. our IT expert, Mr. Frank, and Engineer Noel Acob. We also have our guest speakers for the private conference, Engineer Halderon Santos, Engineer Timothy Mendoza, Engineer Tom Cabanes, Engineer Mark Lawrence Batcho, Engineer Charles Anthony Serrano, Engineer Christian Joshua Bulaon, Engineer Benson David, and Engineer Ernest Daniel Mamanta. Good morning. And our regular members and users for construction section, Engineer Jose F. Zamora, and his assistant, Engineer Rene Rosete. Good morning. Our Vice President of Samakanay, Mr. Eric Dungka, and the Chief of Maintenance Section, Engineer Renato Martinez. And yours truly, Engineer Marvin Jimenez, Vice Chair. Let's go now for our first activity, which is pre-procurement conference. Prior to the advertisement or the issuance of the invitation to bid, requests for expression of interest for each procurement undertaken through a competitive bidding. The BAC, through its secretariat, shall call for pre-procurement conference. The pre-procurement conference shall be attended by the BAC, the secretariat, the unit or officials, including consultants hired by the procuring entity, who prepared the bidding documents and the draft invitation to bid, requests for expression of interest for each procurement. During this conference, the participants led by the BAC shall confirm the description and scope of the contract, the ABC, and contract duration, ensure that the procurement is in accordance with the PPMP and APP, determine the readiness of the procurement at hand, including, among other aspects, the following: availability of appropriation and program budget for contract for the purpose of pre-procurement conference, pending the approval or enactment of the GAA, corporate budget or appropriation ordinances, as the case may be. The certification of availability of funds refers to the amount in the indicative APP consistent with the NEP or MYOA or its equivalent document. The proposed corporate budget or executive budget, in accordance with Section 7.6 of this IRR on procurement activities short of award. Completeness of the bidding documents and their adherence to relevant general procurement guidelines. Completion of the detailed engineering according to the prescribed standards in the case of infrastructure projects, and review, modify, and agree on the criteria of eligibility screening, evaluation, and post-qualification. Review and adopt the procurement schedule, including deadlines and timeframes for the different activities. The bidding documents shall be prepared by the procuring entity following the standard forms and manuals prescribed by the GPPB. The bidding documents shall include the following: ABC, invitation to bid, requests for expression of interest, eligibility requirements, instructions to bidders, including scope of bid documents comprising the bid, criteria for eligibility, bid evaluation methodology, criteria in accordance with the Act, and post-qualification, as well as the date, time, and place of the private conference, submission of bids, and opening of bids. Scope of work where applicable. Plans, drawings, and technical specification. Form amount and validity period of bid security. Form amount and validity of performance security and warranty. And form of contract and general and special conditions of contract. The specifications and other terms in the bidding document shall reflect the necessary specification required to meet the needs of the procuring entity in clear and unambiguous terms, to provide prospective bidders ample time to examine the bidding documents and to prepare their respective bids. The concerned box shall make the bidding documents available from the time the invitation to bid, requests for expression of interest is first advertised, posted, until the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Project number 1, 24CJ 0405, construction of slope protection structure along Susubaen Creek, segment 5, Ramos, Tarlac. Its ABC is 96,500,000. Contract duration is 244 calendar days. Next is 24CJ 0406, construction of flood control structure along Donell Tarlac River Control Right Dike, Armenia to Capaoayan section, segment 2, Tarlac City, Tarlac. Its ABC is 100,360,000. Contract duration 246 calendar days. Next is 24CJ 0407, construction of flood control structure along San Isidro Creek, segment 33, Tarlac City, Tarlac. Its ABC is 106,150,000. Contract duration is 250 calendar days. Next is 24CJ 0408, construction of flood control structure along San Isidro Creek, segment 34, Tarlac City, Tarlac. Its ABC is 101,325,000 and its contract duration is 247 calendar days. Let me hear from the resource speaker about the plans and documents. Or let us hear from our box secretariat. Are all the plans and technical specification and documents are ready?
All technical description and papers and documentation are ready, sir, for ITB.
ITB when?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So thank you, Engineer Malvar. That ends our activity for pre-procurement. Let's now go to our second activity for today, which is a pre-bid conference. As I called the project ID, the guest speaker, please join us here and give some details of the project. Project number 1, 25CJ0129. Let me call on Engineer Halderon Santos.
Good morning, everyone. I am Engineer Halderon Santos and I'll be presenting one flood control project. For the contract ID 25CJ0129, Rehabilitation of Sabo Dam at Kamangaan West, CIS Moncada, Tarlac. It has a project duration of 119 calendar days, having total target length of 58 linear meters and approved budget for the contract amounting to 14,700,000. The scope of works are as follows: earthwork with clearing and grabbing, structure excavation, common soil, and embankment from borrow. Embank and slope protection works. The steel sheet piles length to be used after the concrete cover strip is 9 meters. The presentation also includes a typical flood control section which features a one-slope flood control structure with a length of 4.5 meters on the riverside.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Engineer Halderon. Next project, 25 CJ0130. Let me call on Engineer Timothy Mendoza.
Hello. Good morning. I'm going to introduce a project with a contract ID number 25CJ0130 entitled Construction of Santa Maria Bridge, Barangay Santa Maria, Camiling, Tarlac, that is located along Camiling, Tarlac. The anticipated contract duration of this project is 102 calendar days. This bridge has a total length of 8.8 linear meters with 2 lanes and a total width of 7.32 meters. The scope of works of this project includes number 1, general requirements, number 2, earthwork, number 3, sub-base and base course, number 4, surface course, which includes the PCCP unreinforced 0.28 meters thick, 14 days. Number 5, bridge construction. Under this are precast concrete piles furnished 400 by 400 millimeters, precast concrete piles driven, standard concrete railings, structural concrete, and lean concrete. And lastly, number 6, drainage and slope protection structures.
Any questions? None? Okay, thank you, Engineer Timothy Mendoza. Next project, 25CJ0131. Let me call on Engineer Tom Cabanes.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Engineer Tom Adriel Cabanes and I will be presenting 2 projects. For contract ID number 25CJ0131, construction of DPWH office building, Tarlac 1st DEO, Parsulingan, Gerona, Tarlac, Phase 3. The scope of works includes the completion of the DPWH building with ceiling works, specifically acoustical panels, gypsum boards, and WPC, installation of bamboo charcoal wall, tiling works, painting works, construction of front steel canopy with a dimension of 13 meters by 10.5 meters, construction of a powerhouse with a dimension of 10 meters by 6 meters, and the construction of the outdoor aircon enclosure.
Any question? Okay, you may now proceed to the next project.
For the next project, with contract ID number 25CJ0133, with the contract name Construction of Multipurpose Building, DOST Building at Barangay San Isidro, Tarlac City, Tarlac. The scope of works includes the construction of a 2-story MPB DOST building with a dimension of 19 meters by 10.5 meters, includes the removal of walls, includes sanitary works, ceiling works, roofing works, painting works for steel, floor and wall finishes, electrical works, the construction of the internal wall, doors and windows, fire extinguisher, and other reinforced concrete works.
Any question? Okay, thank you, Engineer Tom Cabanes. Next project, 25CJ0132. Let me call on Engineer Mark Lawrence Bacho. Please join us here.
Good morning. For the project with contract ID 25CJ0132 entitled as Rehabilitation of Saba Dam, including drainage system at Talega Norte CIS, Moncada, Tarlac. The project has a total length of 58 linear meters located in the left bank of Baget River, equivalent to that National Irrigation Commission's Talega Norte Communal Irrigation System. The scope of works of the project are as follows: removal of existing 230 mm thick PCCP, paving of roadway with 250 mm thick PCCP and 6.10 traveled width, excavation works along the left end bank and existing riverbed, installation of 10 meters pole solar LED roadway lighting with 300 watts of lighting, construction of fan slope, concrete slope protection structure with parapet wall, and driving of 9 meters Z-type steel sheet pile foundation.
Any question? Okay, thank you, Engineer Mark Lawrence Bacho. Next project is 25 CJ0134. Let me call on Engineer Charles Anthony Serrano.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Engineer Charles Anthony Serrano. I'll be presenting two projects. For project with contract ID number 25CJ0134, construction of Camiling Multipurpose Building Phase 2, Camiling Tarlac. The scope of works includes roofing works with steel roof framing, reinforced concrete works for the roof beams and column, continuation through roof, and roof deck slab for the water tanks. Plumbing and sanitary works including cold water line, sewer line, and storm drain. Masonry works for the stall and ancillary space at the roof deck. Mechanical works for the fire protection system including the pumps, fire hose cabinets, additional pipes, and modular water tanks. Service elevator, escalators, tiling works for the ancillary space, electrical works, panel boards, meter center, conduits, and wirings.
Okay, any question so far? Okay, proceed to the next project.
For contract ID 25CJ0136, construction, completion of multipurpose building, IT center, Tarlac City, Tarlac. The scope of works includes earthworks, excavation for fire tank with dimension of 6 by 4.5 by 3 meter. Concreting works, reinforcement and installation of steel bars, concrete pouring for the tank base, walls, and roof. Waterproofing, sewer line works, plumbing works, electrical works, mechanical works, installation of fire alarm system, fire sprinkler system, ventilating system, and air conditioning system, floor finishing, plastering, ceiling works, laying of floor tiles, installation of drywall partition, installation of doors, and painting works.
Okay, any question? Okay, thank you, Engineer Charles Anthony. Let's proceed to the next project, 25CJ0135. Let me call on Engineer Christian. Ay, hindi. Sino ka? Christian Joshua Bulaon.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Engineer Christian Joshua Bulaon. For 25CJ0135, having a title Construction of San Vicente Road, Tarlac City, Tarlac, comprises of 3 roads as per design. For Road 1, it has a length of 88 linear meters from Station 0 to Station 0 plus 88, starting along Macabulos Road going to Tarlac Provincial Hospital. For Road 2, it has a length of 68 linear meters from Station 0 to Station 0 plus 68 within the vicinity of the said provincial hospital going to Fairlane Subdivision. And for the Road 3, it has a length of 101 linear meters from Station 0 to Station 0 plus 101 located within the area of the respective hospital. The total length for this project is 257 linear meters. The total project duration is 91 calendar days. The scope of works included for this project are construction of road with a PCCP width of 5 meters for Road 1 and 6.7 meters for Roads 2 and 3, a PCCP thickness of 0.28 meters, a shoulder width of 1 meter for Road 2. Construction of drainage with dimensions of 1.2 width and varying heights, and construction of one line 1.25 by 1.25 box culvert at Road 1. Items included for this project are clearing and grubbing, removal of trees with diameters 150 to 300 mm, removal of existing PCCP with a thickness of 0.2 meters and 0.23 meters, removal of concrete obstruction, excavation works, subgrade preparation, crush aggregate base course, PCCP with a thickness of 0.28 meters, reinforcing steel grade 40, structural and link concrete, and curb and gutter.
Any question? None. Okay. Thank you, Engineer Joshua. Let's proceed to the next project. 25 CJ 0137. Let me call on Engineer Benson David.
Good morning, everyone. This to introduce a project with the contract ID number 25CJ0137 with the contract name Construction of Tarlac City Southwest Diversion Road including bridge component Package Q Tarlac. The anticipated contract duration is 300 calendar days. The proposed bridge length is 28.8 meter with a 1 span. 4 lanes carriageway with a 3.35 meter width inner lane and 4.15 meter width outer lane, which include the following scope of works. Number 1, other general requirements. 2, earthwork. 3, bridge construction works, which includes concrete piles in drilled holes 1.2 meter diameter for abutment A and B, permanent casing, concrete railing, reinforcing steel, pre-stressed structural concrete members type 5 I-girder, elastomeric bearing pads, expansion joint 30 mm gap steel finger type.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Engineer Benson David. For the last project, 25 CJ 0138, let me call on Engineer Ernest Daniel Mamanta and give us some details of the project.
Good morning, everyone. For contract ID number 25CJ0138, construction of roads at Barangay Baculong, Victoria, Tarlac. It has a total length of 0.6044 kilometers or 1.2088 lane kilometers. Its main scope of works include construction and rehabilitation of concrete road with a pavement width of 5 meters and a thickness of 0.28 meters. Shoulder width is 0.5 meters. Other works include clearing and grubbing, removal of trees, unsuitable excavation, subgrade and subbase preparation, and construction of retaining wall with a maximum height of 2 meters.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Engineer Mamanta. So that ends our private conference. Our resource speakers have discussed the scope of work and project description of each project. If in case there will be an amendment notice of resumption for the scheduled procurement activities, a supplemental bulletin will be posted. So let's continue with the opening of bids. These projects were advertised and posted on DPWH's website, PhilJeps, and posted on the bulletin board of DPWH Tarlac First DEO. This proceeding is guided by the rules and procedures of RA 9184, otherwise known as the Government Procurement Reform Act, and other relevant issuances of GPPB and the DPWH. Thus, the bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding. In opening of the technical and financial envelopes, non-discretionary pass, fail criterion as specified in the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 shall be strictly followed. Further, notwithstanding the result of the electronic eligibility, a prospective bidder or bidders may be rated uncomplying due to the absence of required documents during the preliminary evaluation of bids, based on the checklist provided for both technical and financial requirement. Now, since evaluation of bidders' eligibility requirements is processed electronically through Civil Works application, for bidders who will be found ineligible in the e-process, the BAC will check and manually evaluate their eligibility documents and may consider them eligible if the required or updated documents were included in their technical component. The BAC will then request to the procurement service the updating of bidders' documents in the Civil Works Registry and reprocess the eligibility check in the CWA. Let it be noted and BAC Secretariat put it on the record that in case of discrepancies between the findings of the BAC and the result on the e-process, the latter shall prevail. At this point, let me go now to the reading of the projects to be bid out today. Project number 1, 24 CJ 0391, Rehabilitation of Barangay Buhilit Road, Barangay Buhilit, Tarlac City, Tarlac. Its ABC is 48,250,000. Required bid security in the form of surety bond is 2,412,500. Bank guarantee is 965,000. Next. 25 CJ 0080. Construction of flood control structure along Susubaen Creek, segment 25. Ramos, Tarlac. Its ABC is 96,500,000. Required bid security in the form of surety bond is 4,825,000. Bank guarantee is 1,930,000. Next. Project number 325 CJ 0081. Construction of multipurpose building covered court, Barangay Capaoayan, Moncada, Tarlac. Its ABC is 4,950,000. Required bid security in the form of surety bond is 247,500. Bank guarantee is 99,000. Next. Project number 425 CJ 0082. Construction of completion of multipurpose building covered court, Barangay Pao, San Jose. Its ABC is 4,950,000. Required bid security in the form of surety bond 247,500. Bank guarantee is 99,000. Next. Project number 525 CJ 0083. Construction of flood control structure along Camiling River, Mayantoc section, segment 1. Its ABC is 96,500,000. The required bid security in the form of surety bond is 4,825,000. Bank guarantee is 1,930,000. Next. Project number 6. 25 CJ 0084. Construction, completion of multipurpose building, covered court, Barangay Poblacion 2. Its ABC is 2,970,000. Required bid security in the form of surety bond is 148,500. Bank guarantee is 59,400. Next. Project number 7, construction of multipurpose building, daycare, Barangay Cabuluan, Victoria, Tarlac. Its ABC is 4,950,000. Required bid security in the form of surety bond is 247,500. Bank guarantee 99,000. Okay, let us continue with the technical component. Tatlo. Presence and absence for project number 1. Presence and absence of the required documents. The 3 bidders were found complying. You may now open their financial envelope. We will waive the reading of the required bid security inasmuch as all bidders have submitted bid securing declaration as their form of bid security, and these are accepted. We also have our the result of electronic eligibility for these projects. All bidders were found eligible. For project number 2, presence and absence of the required documents, the 3 bidders were found complying. You may now open their financial envelope. Wala mo. Project number 3, presence and absence of the required documents, the 2 bidders were found complying. You may now open their financial envelope. For project number 4, 25 CJ0082, presence and absence of the required documents, the 2 bidders were found complying. You may now open their financial envelope. For project number 5, for project number 6, presence and absence of the required documents, the 2 bidders were found complying. You may now open their financial envelope. Project number 7, 25 CJ 0086. Presence and absence of the required documents, the 2 bidders were found complying. You may now open their financial envelope. For project number 5, presence and absence of the required documents, the 3 bidders were found complying. You may now open their financial envelope. Let us now go to the financial component for project number 1. Presence and absence of the required documents. The 3 bidders were found complying with their bids. T2B3 builders, its bid is 47,581,253.22. Big Bertha Construction, its bid is 47,001,976. Tama. 001. .62. Dito to. Northern Builders, its bid is 46,746,815. 796. 815.97. All bids are below ABC. Project number 2, presence and absence of the required documents. The 3 bidders were found complying with their bids. M3 Construct, its bid is 93,267,455.94. Big Bertha, its bid is 93,875,078.60. GVDPM Construction, its bid is 94,083,192.80. All bids are below ABC. Project number 3, presence and absence of the required documents. The 2 bidders were found complying with their bids. Saint Benezet Construction, its bid is 4,876,721.23. Jaken Construction, its bid is 4,875,355.35. All bids are below ABC. Project number 4, presence and absence of the required documents. The 2 bidders were found complying with their bids. Saint Benezet Construction, its bid is 4,925,644.50. 0.50. Ambil Construction, its bid is 4,880,412.37. All bids are below ABC. Project number 5, presence and absence of the required documents. The 3 bidders were found complying with their bids. GVDPM Construction, its bid is 94,019,3 383.40. (1116) construction, its bid is 93,363,789.81. Big Bertha construction, its bid is 94,163,510.94. All bids are below ABC. Project number 6. Presence and absence of the required documents. The two bidders were found complying with their bids. Saint Benezet Construction, its bid is 2,963,445.17. 969 Construction, its bid is 2,955,753.36. All bids are below ABC. Project number 7. Presence and absence of the required documents. The two bidders were found complying with their bids. FRNCS Builders, its bid is 4,888,126.44. PC Panopio, its bid is 4,893,068.893. 4,893,068.37. 068. 068.37. All bids are below ABC. So that ends our opening of bids. Each project starting from the lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification to determine its responsiveness to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming and stay safe.